Hi, this is Rachel from the Book Mavens with a July wrap-up that is incredibly short because I didn't read very much for the month of July. Beyond what Amanda and I agreed to read, which we are, of course, working our way through the Timur series, I just didn't finish anything except one book, and that is what I'm going to talk about with you today. So that book is Twin Crowns. You guys might recognize this one. This is from the June Fairy Loot. And then, of course, if you watch my other unboxing videos, you know that I had gotten the two Waterstone editions with Wren and Rose. You can notice them on the cover. So they are the main characters of this story. So basic premise, we have twin sisters who are born in a kingdom in which witches are being systematically destroyed, killed. And their mother was a witch, and she was supposedly trying to bring peace to the kingdom between the witches and the regular people, and she dies. And so we have these two sisters who were separated at birth. So one remains in the kingdom as the crown princess. The other one is spirited away by witches to be raised with witches to support witches coming back to the kingdom. All right. So the whole plan is that Wren is the one being raised by the witches, that she knows her entire life that she has a twin sister, and she's been raised to come in and replace Rose on the crown to save the witches. So Rose, very pampered, has been raised kind of brainwashed to think witches are the worst. And so we see these two girls switch positions. So we know, of course, they're going to learn a lot about these other positions that each other had. And they are going to learn a lot about each other. And there's some romance storylines for both girls. So, yeah, that's the basic premise for this book. There is a sequel in the works for this. I don't know when that releases. There are also plans for this to be developed into a film, I believe. Of all of the great stories out there to be put on a screen, this wouldn't be my choice. This had a tremendously alluring tagline of being reminiscent of The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride ranks in probably my top 5 favorite films ever. Wonderfully written, cast beautifully, funny. No, there's very little humor in this book. One of the sisters is incredibly snarky. Snarkiness doesn't always translate to humor. The romantic tension that we get with the Man in Black and Buttercup, nope. For neither pairing. One girl ends up developing feelings for this muscly guard who barely speaks and has a really cool like wolf companion. That's about the only thing he has going for him. He's got the personality of a wet mop. And the other one, he's the only really interesting character. The sisters aren't that interesting. Pretty one-dimensional. This isn't the most well-written or well-paced book. So overall, I was pretty disappointed. If I was going to rank this, I would probably rank it like a 2, maybe 2.5 stars if I was feeling generous, depending on who I was talking to about this book. It is incredibly YA. This is not an adult book. I don't know if it's just my advanced age, but I am growing less and less tolerant of just poorly paced books, and I don't like to use that excuse, well, it's YA. There are a lot of quality YA books, and this just wasn't my favorite. So this is not one that I would necessarily recommend. The sequel's coming out. Will I read it? Depends on how many books I have piled up on my TBR. My TBR list is huge, and I just keep adding to it. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll be picking up the second one. But if they turn it into a show and they liven this up, because seriously, you get none of the charm. There's not the romance that you got with Princess Bride. There's no criminal mastermind with Vicini. There are no great clever lines of, hey boys, have fun storming the castle. There is no rhyming giant. There is no Spaniard on a revenge mission. Like, nothing. You get none of those kinds of storylines. It's not that I was expecting this to be like a replica of The Princess Bride, but I wanted some great characters. The Princess Bride is all about the characters and their interactions with each other. Like, this didn't land, I think, the way they wanted it to, for me. So anyway, in the comments, please let me know what you thought of this book if you read it. If you're thinking about reading it, what is it that kind of drew you to this book? Is it the fairy tale aspects? Another great story about witches always like to draw me in. The sisterhood aspect, I really like to know. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a nice night.